Thanks, Vlad. Thanks, everyone. I am very excited to talk to you guys about the future of no-code monetization, how no-code is going to change the way businesses, online businesses, software companies make recurring revenue online. The world of no-code is very fascinating for us. You can these days build an entire software business with no-code. For example, if I have an idea and I want to validate it, I want to spin up a website, I'm just going to build a website using a website builder like Webflow, Wix, Squarespace, or any of the other website builders that are out there today. Let's say I want to do content marketing and I want to spin up a blog to drive organic leads to my website. I'll just spin up a tool such as Ghost or WordPress or any other blog builder and just spin up my blog. Let's say I want to talk to my customers directly from my website. I'll use a tool such as Intercom. I'll just copy it into my website without doing a single line of code, and now I can interact with my customers on the site. I can even go further and create a Zap or Integromat flow and send that to my Slack channel. So every time a customer comes through, I can get notified. Let's say I have an idea that actually requires a software. It requires some sort of functionality for my customers to come in and perform, such as a task management, a calendar system, anything you can imagine. I can build that using no-code tools such as Bubble, Adalo, Thunkable. These tools help you actually build with a visual builder and no need to write a single line of code. So no-code is very critical for the growth of the internet businesses. But in order to actually see that, we need to look at the history and how it is actually been used by developers. No-code has been around for decades. An example, I remember the first time that I created a web page using Dreamweaver. This was back in 2003. Dreamweaver was a drag and drop tool. If you look at it today, it looks like kind of a very old Webflow. But it did the job. We just dragged and dropped different divs into the page and we built a web page. Or the very first time I sent a mass newsletter to thousands of subscribers in a list. And I did that with creating an email template using MailChimp. There are many other tools today that lets you do that. You don't have to actually code it. This was also around 10, 15 years ago. So not having to build these certain components have saved so much time for developers. Developers actually love no-code. They just don't call it no-code, but they do really appreciate it. And let's take a look at their journey in terms of what they've been evolving their coding experience to no-code. So for example, back 10, 15 years ago, we used to host, our developers used to host their web apps on their own servers. You guys seen the Silicon Valley show. That actually used to be the thing. You had your server somewhere in a warehouse in your house, and you spend hours every week maintaining it. That idea sounds insane right now. You use no-code tools. You don't even need to know about the cloud infrastructure. Use tools like 8base, backend list that they were on the conference yesterday. We used to build our own forms. Every time someone wanted a contact form on a website, we built the front end, we built the back end, we even built the logic that sends you an email every time someone submits the form. That also sounds insane right now because we have tools such as Typeform, which we can go and create the fields embedded right into our website and no developer have to actually touch it. Developers use these tools. So what do they call it? They call it build versus buy. And every single time they regret building it. And the point here is that no-code is changing the world right now. And it's gotten to a point where it's easy enough that even developers can use it to expedite their work. It's not just for non-technical folks. So if I were about to summarize no-code in one sentence, I would say no-code makes it easier and faster to build things. And things could be internet businesses, anything, any idea that you have. We started 3-4 years ago with Servicebot with one vision in mind. And the vision was billing should become easier. Billing is a very complex system, and we don't think that you should be focusing on billing when running your online business. You should be focusing on your product, your idea, figuring out how to get that to your users and customers. So no code is here to help. I won't bore you with the architectural levels of billing, but this is important to understand there are 3 levels in terms of billing. Level 1 is a payment gateway. It handles the transactions basically between your customer's credit card and your bank account, and vice versa when you do refund and so on. The second layer, which sits on top of payment gateway, is called a subscription billing system. Basically, it's the system that handles the recurring revenue. So if your customer comes and pays you $20 a month, the system that actually charges them every month is going to be the subscription billing system. The system also gives you reporting of how much money you're making every month, every year, what's your churn rate, what's your retention, and all the billing engine that goes behind it. But there is this one layer on top that even today, software companies are still building it. They're still having such a painful time of creating user interface that allows their customers to interact with their billing system. Now, what do I mean by that? There are 3 ways to onboard users for any online business at the moment. So whether you're a digital services company or you're a SaaS, you're a software as a service, which you have a more complex onboarding process, you could have a paid upfront model. For example, you have a website, you want to show your pricing page on your website, you want your customers to click on one of the tiers, pay for the tier, and then get access to some sort of information or an app or just pay. And at some point, manage that subscription. This we call a payment upfront. The second onboarding flow is free trial model. You guys are probably familiar with this or use tools online that have this model. You look at the marketing site, you sign up, you get access for X number of days, let's say for 14 days for free. Once you hit that 14 days, you are hit with a paywall where you have to now upgrade to the next tier or a paid tier. And once you do, you get premium features, and then you can manage your subscription. This is a free trial model onboarding flow. The next onboarding flow is going to be the freemium model. The freemium model is also very familiar to people who use a lot of software tools online. Very similar to free trial, you sign up, you get access, but you get that one feature that requires you to upgrade to the next tier. And that's when you're hit with a paywall. And again, you pay, you get access to it, and you manage your subscription. Now, in all these 3 scenarios, billing is a big pain point for businesses to implement into their onboarding flow because it is very modularized. It has to actually fit within your onboarding flow, and it has to be flexible enough that if you do decide to change between the models and you experiment with them, you could without having to rewrite a bunch of codes or actually even touching code. This has been a big pain point even for technical SaaS companies today. So the solution that we're giving, and we are very excited to launch this solution today, is embeddable billing pages that sit right on top of Stripe and can be embedded anywhere within your website or within your app and doesn't require any kind of coding. This is super exciting for us because we did not create another billing system. We create a user interface, a no-code user interface on top of Stripe, which is the most powerful billing system that all developers use today. And without further ado, I will show you an example of the new launch. So right here, I have a sample landing page with my Webflow. I just copied a landing page, cloned it, and I am going to jump to my Servicebot dashboard. So this is the new Servicebot dashboard that we have launched. This has been available since last night. So if you've used it before, it's completely changed. The way we've done it is you have these billing pages that you can create. Plan picker, if you have a SaaS, so free trial, freemium model, you want the customer to come in and pick their plan or upgrade from that free trial, Plan Picker is the embed. Customer Portal allows your customers to self-manage their subscriptions once they subscribe to it. Pricing page is a pricing page you put on your website, 2-tier, 3-tier, whatever amount of tiers that you guys like. You put it right into your website, and your customers can now subscribe. Checkout form is a paywall that you can create and embed anywhere inside of your app. And invoice portal, allowing your customers to download invoices. So I'll jump into it. I've already created my products in my Stripe account. That's right through the GUI. And I'll go ahead and click this flat subscription. I'll leave all the default settings, but just to show you, you can now actually visually see your pricing page. So I'm going to be able to, for example, disable these tiers, enable the tiers, hide them, and do all kind of customization on these tiers. I'll go ahead and save this now. Once I'm done, I'll grab this HTML code, copy it, go to my Webflow. This is my landing page. I put an HTML embed component here. I'll go ahead and save it, save, and publish. Done. I'm going to go ahead and refresh my landing page, scroll down. I will grab one of these billing pages right here. Always happens. There we go. There we go. Picked the wrong billing page right there. There we go. Now we have our pricing page. The pricing page that my customers can go in and subscribe to plans, put their credit cards, and done. This pricing page, you can add your coupons. You can allow customers to add coupons, or I can even go ahead and just say test at com. I'm going to put the credit card right here. This is a test, so I can actually perform a test checkout using the Stripe test mode straight from the site, and done. If I go to my customers on my Stripe account, you can see test@gmail.com. I can see my subscriptions. I can see that the subscription is now paying $100 a month, and that's it. It's going to go on your reporting, and you can embed any other of these billing pages that you have available here into your website or app without any problem. Now, I know it's 8:21 right now. We are going to go live on Product Hunt in about 9 minutes, I believe. And that is, we're very excited about that. Moving over, I have one more thing to say is that when you're running your business, just make sure you do experiment with your pricing. Pricing is the biggest leverage you have to increase your revenue. And that is the most important lesson we've learned in the past 4 years running Servicebot. Thank you. We can, I think, go through Q&As, Vlad, or?
Absolutely. Shar, that was amazing. We did not plan for a feature release on this conference, so thank you very much for enriching the experience with that. Good luck with the Product Hunt. I'm sure you guys will ace it. All right, so yeah, we do have a couple of cool questions from the audience that I would appreciate your helping to answer. So let me start with the first one. Do you guys support pay what you want model so that the customers can choose the amount? I guess it's like sort of like buy me a coffee model just without the fixed amount.
Yeah, that's actually a great question. Now, just to give you, there are so many different user interfaces for customers to interact with your billing. We've came with the the essential 5 that you need, but pay what you want is actually a slider pricing page that we are
Right.
going to release in about 6 months, I believe. So that
Perfect.
is pretty much out, but I guess the point is that these things are all commonly asked and going to be released, and as part of the roadmap.
Right. Amazing. Next question. So is there a billing option for final users to buy credits? Example is $5, 5 credits, 1 credit, 1 virtual class, or something like that. Basically, can you play with some points within what Servicebot offers, like to manage, for example,
Half
the
of
virtual
that.
currency?
Yeah,
Okay.
half of that is currently done, meaning you could apply credits to your customers um, right from your Stripe account, and they are able to then manage those credits from the customer portal inside of your app. The actual act of purchasing credits themselves are not there yet.
Gotcha. Thank you.
And
But
that's another one that I would tell you that it's going to come out soon, but there are a
I'm
million
sure.
ways that billing is going to have to extend.
Yeah, I'm sure billing is this kind of a thing. Another
Yeah.
question, and it's again about the billing. So other pre-built billing pages multi-language? Basically, do they support
Absolutely.
multi-language? Awesome.
Absolutely. You can not only you can select the existing languages that we've translated or asked our customers to translate, you could also translate your own. And that's one of the most powerful things we have on our billing pages.
Amazing. Quick question about the visual part of that as well. So the guys are asking, what sort of custom design options are available? Meaning, to which extent you can play with the color, font, etc.
Yeah, so the branding part of it, we are going to allow some color changes, color scheme changes that changes the button, kind of the overall scheme. But what we're really going to do is we're going to take the like existing software companies and their pricing page and have templates that you can say, I want like Slack's pricing, or I want uh, any company's pricing, and you can apply to it. If you want to go further and build your own, all you have to do is use CSS on top of it. Now, I know that that's not a real pure no-code tool, but because of the fact that branding itself is so customized to your own branding, it's very hard to actually allow you to like relay out these things from the UI at the moment.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Right. Another question. Is there a refund mechanism embedded into your
Yep.
toolset?
That is correct.
Perfect.
In fact, refund systems is on this first and second layer that I showed you guys. So what you do is you apply the refund directly from your Stripe account, and it's going to reflect on all the billing pages.
Perfect. All right. Another question. Looks like we have quite a few of these. Billing definitely resonates with a lot of people. I wonder why.
Yeah.
Is there a program for a loyalty program? I guess it's similar to the points question, but is there maybe something smarter than that?
Yes. Yes, we have an integration with a company called Rewardful. And the way, if I understand it right, is that if you have a customer and you want your customer to receive some point by referring other customers, they would get points by, you could apply discount, you could apply points by having them refer new clients. And that has been actually one of the biggest drivers of growth for certain businesses who use us.
Gotcha. All right. Very important question these days. Do Apple or Google block apps with Servicebot? They try to push their own in-app payments. That's in the news.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't block us. That has not happened yet, but we have seen a lot of businesses who do have mobile apps to push, basically have a link to a web app that they have, like a WordPress or a Bubble or any sort of kind of online app builder that they embed the Servicebot portal in there, and they allow their users to then subscribe, or even a Webflow page. They would basically have them jump in outside of the app, pay, and then come back.
Fantastic. We have time for one more question from the audience. Do you guys also support cart abandonment? like abandoned cart stuff? I guess it's more
Failed,
to the
yeah, maybe there's so many different, I guess,
scenarios, right?
questions that could be. But I guess the one I could answer is if a card fails, for example, if a customer card fails, that's one of the biggest pain points. If
Oh yeah.
you have a subscriber, you have been paying $25 a month, let's say, and the card fails, it's automatic for Stripe to send them a churn email saying, "Hey, your card failed," with a
Yeah.
link to the billing page of our portal, which then takes them right into where they get the modal view of, "Hey, update your card," and that would decrease a lot of churn, basically.
Awesome. One last question, very important one. What's the billing model for a Servicebot billing tool? What does it actually cost, and how do people pay for that?
Yeah, so it is completely free on test mode, and that has helped a lot of
Wow.
businesses because billing itself is the typically the thing that it's lingering while you build your business, and you can while you're before your launch, you can test and integrate everything on the test mode for completely free, no cost. You can go sign up today and check it out. After that, we do have some promotional code, but it's based on your revenue, how much you process every month. And that
Right.
starts with $50 a month. We do have, again, some promotions for specifically no-code communities. We think no-code should get a lot more benefits than developers and technical the SaaS companies we work with.
You can say that again. Okay. Couple more questions. It's more about the story of this. So because it resonated so much with me when I first stumbled upon Servicebot, because everyone who's been in serious development, regardless of whether it's code or no code, knows that this part is specifically sensitive and specifically very, a big energy drainer. So you can spend literally days or weeks or maybe even months trying to make sure your billing works perfectly. What was the story of creation of that? Did you guys scratch your own itch, or did you research and find the
Yeah.
demand in the market for that? So how did that happen?
Yeah, we did. We did make every single mistakes on the books. I can tell you that. But but we did. We wanted to launch an agency in end of 2016. We were providing like email services, domain services, hosting, and that ended up being very hard for us to let our customers come in and manage how much they were paying us, download invoices every time they came over, and they were like, "We need to download our invoices." So we wanted to build something, and our initial prototype was very different from what you guys see today. But that was the beginning. That it was to scratch our own itch, but we did move towards the SaaS model. We figured out software companies actually have a much bigger pain around this area than just agencies and digital services. And here we are.
Sure. Yeah, totally. One last question from the audience. If you could, I don't know if you guys are keeping statistic of that, but is there a no-code tool of choice for the majority of their users? So what platform, let's say, tinkers the most with Servicebot and leverages the easiness of plugging in your own billing into your application?
A tool that you would use Servicebot with, you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's a hard one to answer because like I love most of these businesses that I've been seeing, even in this conference in the past day. And right now we do have the most advanced plugin for Bubble.
Right.
That is so if you're using Bubble, it is the easiest way, and we actually have a talk in about an hour or so that we go through a full end-to-end demo of a very complex per user pricing model. Ben's going to walk you guys through that with Bubble. But the goal is to also have these have it available on Thunkable, Adalo. We've already had some talks with certain tools, and we would love to actually expand. It is a modularized system, so think of us as a modularized billing that gets attached into any existing app builder or website builder per se.
Perfect. Like I always say, no-code community and no-code philosophy overall is the most inclusive on all levels, more inclusive than anything that I've ever seen. And you basically represent that and just confirmed it with your with your answer to
Thank
that.
you.
One last question, Shar. Where do people find you? Are you hanging out in your virtual booth? Can we step in for a chat?
Yeah, I'm actually mostly on Twitter. The best, easiest way to contact me is just on Twitter. Tweet at me, DM me. Would love to talk, and I should probably put my Twitter on the chat right after. So I'll
Sure.
do that.
Yeah, you can put it on the chat. You can put it into your attendee card, or you can just share it in your booth. I'm sure that there are a lot of people who will be asking more questions
Will do.
and would love to tinker with Servicebot. And good luck with
Thank
your
you.
product hunt launch today, guys.
Thanks, Vlad. Thank you so much.
Thank
This
you,
is an
Shar.
amazing
You were
conference.
amazing.